Hello, everybody. It is me, Alex the Hunted. We are back doing movie reviews, and this one's a bit late, but scheduling and everything because screw it, none of us get enough free time. And we are back. It is me, Alex the Hunted. I am joined by Jack and Austin, and today we are going to be reviewing the sort of smash hit Marvel film. Not really, but it's doing all right. Ant Man. What do you guys? Yeah.
It is Ant Man. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, I mean, it's not doing a Guardians of the Galaxy where, like, it's smashing records or anything like that, but it's doing fairly decently at the box office. It's not, like, bombing or anything.
No, not at all. Not like the other certain Marvel movie, but we'll get to that next time.
Avengers?
We'll be recording...
No, the other one.
The other team movie
Civil
that
War?
came out the other day, but we can't really talk about it because it might have an embargo.
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, Cabbage Patch Kids.
Anyway,
Suicide
Ant-Man. It was good.
It was very good.
It was
had,
good.
It had problems, but it
Yeah.
was good. So...
How do we want to address this? Do we want to
shall we get through the good stuff first?
go through the good, the bad, and then the Edgar Wright, or should we go with the bad and the Edgar Wright together?
I'll open it up with this. And
What?
I don't know. I had an idea and I lost it.
Should we just go for the good first, and then we can talk about Edgar Wright if we want to when we get to the bad stuff, and then we might
sure.
we might go into then we'll go into spoilers at the end. Should we?
Sure. There was considerable lack of Ultron. Oh wait, we're talking about the good stuff.
Good stuff, Jack.
Paul Reed was good.
Yes, he
didn't
was. Paul Rudd.
Expect any.
Paul Rudd was good.
Forgive me. That's Peyton Reed, the guy who quote unquote directed the film. But Paul Reed was good.
Rudd.
Shut the fuck up. Paul Rudd was good. I wasn't expecting much from him. I don't think I've seen anything he's done before that, but
Anchorman.
I actually have not seen Anchorman. I've been meaning to.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was good. He definitely has that Marvel chemistry, character, that kind of like.
No, he was. Yeah, I can kind of agree with that.
That sort of like way that all the other Marvel superheroes talk, if you know what I mean.
Well, not necessarily all of them, but
you know what I'm talking about.
Tell, just like Paul Rudd said he was going to do. He was going to try to Chris Pratt his role, but he even threw in his own little Scott Lang into it.
Exactly. I'm trying to remember the other actress's name. The main actress.
Kate from Lost, Evergreen Lily.
Evergreen Lily. She was very good, I thought.
She was good, and Michael Douglas was very good.
Michael Douglas was great.
Yes.
What was the lead villain's name? Corey Shell? What was
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, he
was good for what he was given. He was and I do agree with the point where people said he's kind of like Ironmonger in the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah,
he fucking is.
I can see the critiques that this film was just sort of a retelling of Iron Man. But sort of retelling.
Yeah, there are elements. I'll say that it has elements.
More so with the villain.
Yeah, a lot more with the villain.
The villain was just awful in this movie.
He
wasn't bad. He was underdeveloped.
No, I think it was just straight up bad. If I'm being completely honest.
I mean, the actor was good. I mean, he did the best.
I'm not going to hold anything against the actor, no.
Well, yeah, it's you can only work with what you're given.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And definitely we're saying it and also that guy, Paul Rudd, Ant-Man's Steve's friend, the Mexican. Is he Mexican?
Yes. Yeah, I believe so. What is his name? Michael Piana.
Yeah. I actually really liked him. I thought when I first saw him, he was going to be like annoying comedy sidekick that was just going to piss me off. But honestly,
I thought he was going to be such a racial stereotype. It would have been crazy.
But actually,
he wasn't.
But they did a really good spin on it, if you know what I mean. Like, and they had some good foreshadowing with him as well, like in the actual movie. I don't know if you guys got that, but like at the start where Steve has to punch that prison guy. And
no, what?
Sorry, not is it Steve? At the start of the movie where Scott's coming out of prison and he has to punch he punches the guy.
Yeah.
at the start, and then when his
The ceremony. Thing.
yeah that oh god I'm gonna be terrible with names.
Scott Hank Pym.
Not Hank. No, the guy he picked. The guy picked his mate picks him up in the truck in the van.
Yeah, Michael Pena's character.
Pena's character. He picks him up in the van.
Lewis.
His name is Lewis.
Lewis, and he says, "I'm the only person to ever knock him out." And then later on, you just see him when it gets to the climax of the movie. It's not really spoiler this. He just decks someone immediately.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And grab that onto it. That it's not really foreshadowing as much as.
Coincidence.
Oh, that's cool.
Callback. Actually, that's what I'd say. Like,
yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's like it's very like that could have just been like an off the wall joke where it's oh no wait he can actually punch.
He also introduced an interesting way to transition from scene to scene and set up a story.
Yes, actually, do you know what I actually got the vibe from a lot of the transitions, especially when it was Chalmini? I keep forgetting his name because it's his last name. But when he was talking about how he heard about this guy, that's what those scenes. It felt very Ocean's 11, if you know what I mean.
A little, just a little. Wait, what character were you thinking of?
Lewis when he was talking to Scott about like I know this guy who knew this girl who knew that.
Oh yeah, that was funny. But the lip syncing that was brilliant. I love that.
And
that honestly felt like the little bit of Edgar Wright that they kept.
Yeah,
with those scene transitions.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of other things that they kept from Edgar Wright, I really did like the sequences when he was shrunk down to Ant Man because it wasn't just like. Yeah. It didn't feel like it's just everything's big. Like they put some kind of like weird wide angle lens sort of effect over it.
They did. It's how would I describe it? Shit.
But you know what I mean? But
I'll think about that.
But it's sort of that thing. It's like it had that sort of effect where it didn't just feel like this is just someone who's smaller. It actually felt like okay, this person's smaller, so everything looks a bit weird.
It was kind of it was from his perspective. That's what it was. Seeing how big everything was.
It was his first exposures to the Pym particles. It sort of made his mind sort of dizzy. I guess would be.
Yeah.
If we're going on the logic that the Pym particles make you crazy, which not well set up.
No, and also that was that's a little problem I did have, but we'll get to that later.
We can go over it now.
But I was saying when it felt honestly that line where Scott's going to the guy in the yellow jacket guy, he's basically going, it's the suit that's making you crazy. He's like, no, he's been crazy from the start.
Yeah, he's not.
It's just the part. What? No, the.
Why wasn't everybody else crazy who was working on it then?
Well, the Pym particles actually drove him more insane because he was shrinking nonstop. I mean, he constantly did test subject after test subject when trying to shrink those lambs, and he'd been working on the yellow jacket suit for God knows how long. So he didn't have been exposed to Pym particles longer than even Hank was. And Hank even mentioned to the fact that it drove him crazy to the point where he had to stop being Ant-Man.
Well, no, it never said he drove him crazy. It said he did. It took the toll of it.
That's what the toll meant. When he stopped being Ant-Man right after Janet died, it drove him insane. Specifically, the Pym particles made him even worse. And that's why he had to send Hope away for a while.
Yeah, he sent her to boarding school. That's what I was just about to say. Yeah, but still, it was sort of that thing. It was like it sort of felt like it was a very
also. Well, actually, I have to raise this point. Then, what happened to everyone else that was working on the Pym particles, the Yellow Jacket suit? Then,
well,
why
weren't they
crazy?
They weren't in Yellow Jacket. They weren't the bad guys, so they didn't care.
Well, that's fine, but we never saw them use. Well, we never saw. He never said that he used the suit beforehand, though.
No one used the suit beforehand because they didn't know how to do it.
Nobody did.
No.
It was literally just him. You could see that it was driving him sort of insane, but he didn't go over the top. I'm gonna disintegrate you, the Cure.
Well, actually, no. He kind of did it. He did at the start with that businessman where he turned him into a goo with that goo gun.
Well, yeah. But I'm talking about attacking Scott Lang. That's the point where he was like, yeah! And not like, I'm gonna kill you.
I will say this actually. Tell you what about he was a good screamer, if you know. in that, if you know what I mean, like angry scream. He did that a lot.
That's sure.
I like Scream. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Too bad the TV show sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, that I don't know about that, so we're not going to go into that. Anyway.
But yeah, there was some really good stuff. I thought there was some really good stuff. Like the humor, I thought worked mostly really well.
Yeah, there was some stuff that just kind of fell flat, but I feel like all the humor that was there, I feel like was mostly left from the original thing that Edgar Wright wanted.
I don't know. I actually think that was Marvel, the stuff that Marvel wanted.
Are you sure?
Essentially, Ant-Man actually made me laugh because of the jokes were actually pretty good. It was a movie that I could laugh with, and what am I trying to say, honestly?
But
Ant-Man,
yeah, I did have.
Ant-Man made me laugh because it was funny. Avengers: Age of Ultron was trying to get me to laugh too much.
Yeah, and actually, Ant-Man did have kind of the same problem I had with Age of Ultron, where they were having a serious moment and it would sort of get ruined by someone telling a joke.
Yeah,
like
basically.
when they were talking about Janet.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm just gonna go make some tea." Yet it's like, yeah, just because you pointed out that you ruined the moment doesn't mean exactly doesn't make it right.
Yeah, that wasn't a laugh over the top thing.
Yeah, for the most part.
Also, the romance at the end. What the heck? Where did that come from?
This I feel like this just comes from the issue that we haven't experienced in a long time, and that's the that's been a long time. It's been a couple of years, but it's the superhero origin issue.
Yeah, we actually haven't had
that
an
we-
origin in a while.
Yeah, that's why this type of movie feels kind of out of nowhere and strange, because it's an origin. We haven't seen this in a long. Actually, no. If you want to be technical about it, Guardians of the Galaxy was technically an origin story, but that didn't feel like one.
It was a team origin story, though.
Yeah,
It said the origin of. It said the origin of Peter Quill at the beginning, but then we just skip over that, and we set up the.
we
set
just
up the
meet the
orb.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, team origin stories are, I think, actually kind of easier to do.
Not necessarily.
Well,
that's
no,
not your
no,
fault.
that's not really.
Avengers had to do 5 movies before they could do a team thing.
Yeah.
Guardians was probably the first time that you got to meet the characters at the same time as forming a team. And that's something I'm glad they didn't try to do with Avengers.
But what I did kind of like with Guardians of the Galaxy was they did the team origin, but because those characters weren't as well known, they didn't like change the characters completely, but they were like, well, we can do more with them, you know, we can do more with them instead of just keeping them exactly like how they are supposed to be in the comic book, if you know what I mean.
And there wasn't really any forced romance in that movie either.
No.
Well, to be fair, Drax is completely different from his comic book counterpart, except for the luck.
Well,
Yeah.
this is like, I think that's the Guardians of the Galaxy. That Drax is from like the 2008 reboot.
It is, but but that Drax has been around for ages. That's like
Drax was originally a bad guy, and so was Groot.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Groot did, but Drax had been around for a while. Drax had played a part in the Infinity Gauntlet story. I think he actually killed Thanos.
No, that's Adam Warlock that did that. But
never mind. We'll get into that another time.
But speaking about other things, I can see also why I can see one of the things one of the criticisms I do kind of understand about the film, which it's not a huge one, but it's one of the criticisms I have is like it did feel too much like they were just shoving in Avengers, like all the other Marvel stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like the opening scene that literally came out. I was in the theater and I was just like, oh, it started? Okay. The scene didn't add too much. You got to see Peggy Carter again. I guess that was kind of cool.
Well, the opening sequence was to show Hank's history as
part of S.H.I.E.L.D.
being involved with S.H.I.E.L.D. and why he didn't bring them in or even with the Avengers when Yellow Jacket was getting started. And it was supposed to set up Hank's history after Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to get to know the character of Hank in his younger years before you met the old Hank.
Well,
See, the Marvel tie-ins didn't bother me as much, and I'm actually glad they did something like that.
But the scene with, and this isn't kind of spoilers because it is in the trailer, the scene with Hawkeye did feel very forced.
Falcon
is very, it was very forced.
I did like the scene. I liked the fight scene, But it
Glad to
did
see
feel
Anthony Mackie.
forced.
Again, I'm going to prove my point that this is supposed to set up his point, his story in Civil War, not just with the after credit scene, but that point is where Falcon meets Scott Lang.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it's Hank Pym and Scott Lang are in this movie that were both Ant-Man. That's kind of, you get mixed up with who you're trying to talk about. But yeah,
Yeah.
I was talking about Falcon.
Yeah, the guy who played Ant Man was really good, but which one?
Well, I'm at least glad that they kept Hank as Ant-Man.
Well, yeah, I feel like that would have been like some kind of void there if
Yeah.
there wasn't a mentor figure.
And speaking of other setup of things, is like I did kind of like how they introduced Wasp, but sort of didn't, if you know what I mean. Like they kept Wasp in the movie, which I honestly did think Wasp would be in this movie.
I did not like that at all.
Why not?
I did not like the fact. Wait, are we gonna go into the post-credit scene?
No,
now?
I mean,
No, not yet. We're talking
No.
about
like the backstory Wasp. That's
Yes.
fine.
Janet.
That's fine.
Janet. Pym.
with Janet.
Yeah, okay,
yeah.
that one was fine. That one was fine. Except I don't feel like there was a lot of motivation for him to hide that from his daughter.
No,
I
it's
feel
not.
like-
It's not because he was wanting to hide it from his daughter. It was because he was so scared that it was going to happen again.
Oh yeah, that's
again.
why he hid it from her.
Well, yeah.
But again, it's like they're sort of like this, like sort
I
of
can
set up.
kind
that
of-
they
So
sort
I
of
can kind of get it just because you don't want to bring up how your wife died in the line of in your line of work. I kind of get that.
But I was saying I kind of did like how they sort of set it up, where it's like, but they didn't. It didn't like. I'm guessing maybe if they ever do a future sequel or something future where they like, so because he did say like where you shrink to such a size where time and
The negative zone.
the negative zone where even time is.
No, the negative zone is Fantastic Four. You're thinking of Microverse.
Well, that's what they
It's-
said in the film, so we're just gonna go with that.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they said. But whatever. Moving
But
on.
it says where
Uh,
they say where time is meaningless and stuff like that. It's sort of like setting it was like so they could go. So Wasp could come back because they didn't actually show the actress who played Wasp. Like even in photos, like she was wearing
No.
a hat.
Mm-hmm.
So it's clear that they're gonna do Wasp, but they haven't
Yeah,
cast.
that happened. That happened in the comic books too. Wasp supposedly died, but when the Avengers went into the negative zone, they found her. She is very possible to still be alive because Scott didn't die when he went in there, and he was able to come back. So that leads
well,
up
he
to
had the thing
Janet
that
could
she
return.
didn't. Well,
What?
he had the thing that she didn't. Remember?
And actually, also that scene where he did go in the negative zone was very very trippy
Trippy.
and felt also kind of like Interstellar as well.
I wouldn't say Interstellar. I
No,
just
but
was
you
like
know what I mean, like-
claustrophobic, kind
Yeah.
of. I don't know.
And also there was that one part where it sort of there was also that one part in the negative zone where it sort of felt like a screensaver, if you know what I mean. Which is not
Oh,
a
yeah.
criticism. I'm just saying it was very trippy. It was a very trippy moment.
5 wallpapers per second. Anyway.
But yeah, I was just saying, it's like from what they did is like she won't stop shrinking. He's like, I bet Hank Pym says that, but he doesn't exactly know. Like I bet there is a point where she would stop shrinking. And
You never know.
And she's probably just. But it's saying it's like they can go. They could probably they set it up where there's possibly a way that she could return, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because they say time is meaningless, so we don't even know if she's aged that much.
It all depends if Ant-Man gets a sequel, which they never said anything in Phase 3, and you got no clue if they're doing in Phase 4.
Nope. And we don't really need an Ant-Man sequel shoved into Phase 3 because we already got too many stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't need an Ant-Man sequel either, to be honest.
Well, not
I don't-
necessarily. Well,
Because what other
there's a
villains
lot
could he...
do, especially with introducing his different personas? Like, he might change his name to Giant
Well,
Man.
actually, that's the thing. It's like they did also kind of set up Giant Man in that movie in the scene where he is like in the negative zone. He does use the thing to grow, so that is kind of setting up Giant Man as well, isn't it?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
just expanding on the Pym particle idea.
But you know what I mean? It's like going, well, that's how he can become Giant Man.
Well, he's done Giant Man. The sequel could also focus on his time as Goliath, where he's stuck at 10 feet tall. There's a lot of Ant-Man stories that they could explore into, but nothing that I can think of right now.
I mean, what
No,
other villains
that's
apart?
not
I mean, we can't do Ultron because Ultron wasn't built by Hank Pym in this universe.
I know that's another point I don't like, but whatever. It's past the point.
But it's saying it's like, so what other villains apart from Ultron and Yellow Jacket wasn't really, well, was he a villain? I can't.
Yellow Jacket wasn't a villain. Yellow Jacket was when Hank Pym had gone crazy. Yellow Jacket was Hank Pym. He played that character for a time in the comic books, and so that was a change that made me scratch my head. But I was okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just kind of going, it's like, what other bad guy does? Because I've always seen Ant Man and especially Wasp as like a member, like sort of like Vision, like a member of the Avengers, not really a solo character. If you know
You're asking the wrong guy. If I had my buddy here, he could probably tell you like a couple dozens of Ant Man villains.
I mean,
but you're asking the wrong guy.
But
Well,
I mean,
a sequel could probably maybe explore. Maybe it could explore Scott Lang turning into Yellow Jacket because Pym Particle's driving him crazy, like them going after Hydra because one of them did get away with Pym Particles.
did they?
So that sets up Hydra's plan later in later films for them having something to do with it.
Yeah.
Them did get away.
And actually, also speaking, but anyway, back to it. One other point I did like to bring out is like it's good to see a superhero movie where it's like the climax isn't some like big world-ending thing, if you know what I mean. Like the stakes are high, but it's not like
opposite.
But the stakes are high, but it's not like there's this huge machine that's going to end the world and we have to stop it. If you know what I mean.
Well, like I said, it's the exact opposite. They shrink
They
down.
weren't
Fight
dropping
once.
mountains into the world.
But no, but I mean, you know what I mean. It's not like Man of Steel or Age of Ultron or Avengers or even the most or Thor 2. But you know what I mean. It's like where it's just mass destruction. I mean, there's destruction, but it's not like citywide. Cities are being leveled, sort of thing.
Although
I'm
shrink
gonna have to
giving.
keep bringing up my point.
What's your point?
That is the exact opposite.
Yeah, I mean, stuff gets destroyed, but on a small scale.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. That's the whole. That's what brings you into Ant Man. It's not huge, on a sense that the other Marvel films had. It's huge in its own tiny little universe where everything that happens is eye squinting level.
Yeah.
That's what made it interesting and also funny.
And also, speaking of which, you know, that people who have seen that all in the trailers where there's just the Thomas the Tank Engine scene where Yellow Jacket gets run over the Thomas the Tank Engine. That's just part one of that joke. They use that joke again.
Thomas the Tank Engine gets
Yeah,
turned.
that was a creative ending fight.
Yeah, as I say, that's probably the best setting for like an ending climax. A little girl's toy room with all her toys. Like that's just genius.
Yeah.
For ant-sized villains, and then they take an ant and they make it like the size of a dog.
That's
and I
weird.
wanted to kill it.
And then they keep it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, kill it.
But that
kill
doesn't.
with fire.
If technically that doesn't make any sense because a lone ant without any like hive would just like die. Like cause
Yeah,
it
because there's no hive mind.
Yeah, because it doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, but this is a Marvel film.
But anyway, but yeah, so it's like they do some really clever stuff for a climax. It's really imaginative. It's almost as imaginative, I would say, as like the Thor 2 climax with all which was directly inspired by Portal.
Yeah, directly inspired by Portal. Okay.
Portal.
You know that's not the only thing that's used portals, right?
Just anyway.
Yeah. What,
nice
what about the dark?
reference.
What about the Dark Portal and Illidan?
Illidan.
You guys don't know. Wow. Get out of here.
Anyway, back to Marvel.
I'm sorry. They announced the new World of Warcraft expansion. It looks amazing.
Oh yeah, Gamescom's going on at the moment.
That's
But anyway, yeah. So it's like it really it is a good movie. It's another good movie by Marvel. I mean,
It's a good summer film.
yeah. It does have some good little moments, and also has some nice references. Like I did like the Tales to Astonish
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
That was pretty good.
that was a good. That's how you do like a reference. You know, it's not like in your face reference. It's a just
I
subtle
like-
drop.
I also like the Spider-Man reference.
Yes.
They claim it wasn't unintentional, but you're stupid if you believe
It
that.
was more likely unintentional because that scene was probably written before the Sony deal came into play.
Well, I don't know. I mean, with reshoots,
maybe.
with reshoots and that they could have that one scene they could have just filmed over a weekend.
Oh
Yeah. Just call
It's
up
just
Anthony
an interesting
Mackie. It's
point
like,
that
wants to
this
sit in the
all
park?
played at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they call up Anthony Mackie. It's like, you want to sit in the park and read a couple lines? We'll pay you $500,000. Like, yeah, man, let's do it.
Or more like you're under contract. We gotta do a reshoot.
Reshoots aren't impossible.
No. Unless you're Mark Hamill and gets a new car crash, so they can't really and needs
A new
Yeah.
face.
a new face, so they couldn't reshoot any scenes that he was in the first Star Wars.
Turned out well in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about trailers if we're talking about Star Wars?
I got the Force Awakens trailer.
So did I. It still looks great.
Yeah.
Is there anything else in Ant Man we need to go over? Because we didn't talk about the end credits yet.
Yeah,
Wait, other stuff.
before we go into the actual.
I did. Oh wait, I did like the basically a training montage, but I did like it.
Oh yeah, that was fun. It's like he
Where they
literally sees all
explored
the
all the
different
other
ants.
ants and how they would play a part.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And also, I did also really believe the Michael. Is it? Yeah, Michael.
Michael
well,
Douglas.
Hank Pym and
Scott Lang.
Scott. No, not Scott Lang. His daughter.
Oh.
I really did believe that sort of like he wanted to be a good dad, but he just
Hope.
didn't know how to show it.
Her name is Hope Dane.
Hope.
Yeah, that's what I said.
But you know what I mean, like.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's like you could feel like he definitely wanted to do good for her, if you know what I mean, but he was just bad at it. Sort of the same way Scott was when he was giving his daughter that nightmare fuel rabbit for her birthday.
Hey, she liked
yeah.
it, so
Yeah.
His daughter was hilarious.
Yeah, that's to say. And
yeah, she was cute.
And if you know comics,
I
she
do.
also becomes a superhero.
But I don't think that's going to happen because she's like 6.
I don't know, Young Avengers.
Uh-huh. Well, Spider-Man. That might be
No.
phase 4.
But actually, it was sort of good because it was kind of good that they found a good child actor as well. Because if that was done by a bad child actor, I think that would have not been as good. If you know what I mean, like
Get Jake Lloyd. Even though he's like in his 20s.
and
he got
arrested.
Yeah, we just brought that up.
Okay.
Anyway.
So the 2 post-credit scenes. One I liked, one I did not like.
Mid-credits first. Hope being set up for the Wasp.
Yes.
Well,
Didn't like that.
That.
I
Did not
actually,
like that.
I have. It's like I did like it because I mean they're gonna. I was thinking like they're gonna have the Wasp is gonna be part of the Avengers at some point. You know, like she's probably gonna have a minor role in Civil War. I bet.
She's not scheduled to be in that film, and that
No.
Spider-Man was also not
I'd say
scheduled
she
to be in
come
that.
in-
yeah,
film.
but that
Right.
film is wrapping up its filming soon.
Yeah. They just filmed the Spider-Man cameo.
Well, actually, from what I've heard, is the actual actor is having like a small cameo, but Spider-Man's going to be in a sort of. I'm guessing like because basically they can do a lot of his fights during just using CGI that they don't really need the actor.
Oh, that's terrible.
I don't think that's what they'll do.
That's what I've heard. I've heard reports that he has the actor himself like has a few as like an actual, basically a cameo when it comes to the acting part, but when it comes to
Maybe
like
it's Peter Parker, but
yeah, as Spider-Man, he
Could
has
it be
more,
Miles Morales?
as Spider-Man he has more. to
no, Jack, not Miles Morales.
I like Miles better.
That's fine, but we don't need
Peter Parker.
No, shut up.
do. Anyway.
You only-
But anyway, going back to, I actually
like-
do like the look of the Wasp outfit though.
the what that was based on a not the first Wasp outfit, but
No,
I did
'cause the
like
first-
how
yeah.
it was a callback.
The first Wasp outfit was red.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was what Janice was.
Yeah.
This one was a really good design.
Yeah, I did
And
like.
it's another comic
Yeah.
callback.
It was a nice design, but I didn't like the fact that they introduced it.
Because
The entire point of him literally becoming estranged from his daughter, never telling her about his wife, is because he wanted to keep her out of it. That's why he got hang into the suit.
But
That's
after
because
everything
he got hang into
happened,
the suit.
but I would say after everything happened, he probably learned and realized that, hang on, his daughter could probably do this. That he should stop
because
trying.
you saw in the scene where he mentioned it,
Yeah.
you saw that they bonded over it and they made up.
I
Yeah.
still don't think that would match up. I still don't like that.
Why?
I just said he's gone. It literally just
And we just
everything he's believed
explained it
just
to you
flipped.
that they both got over it and they made up.
It's
Putting
character
away-
development.
Putting away Hank's fear of his daughter becoming a superhero. It has nothing to do with the heist anymore. Yellow Jacket's not involved, so he's willing to let his daughter grow up and move on and maybe take up the mantle of her mother.
Wow!
Of his dead mother,
Wow!
the dead mother. I just still did not like that.
Fine. Fine.
Maybe I'm wrong in that opinion, but that's fine.
Fine. Keep your opinion.
I will.
Wow!
Now, post-credit
Never
scene.
piss off a
photos
comic
up.
book fan. I'm telling that to the audience.
Okay, the other post-credit scene. Okay,
Was
I'm gonna.
something that was kind of. I feel like they needed to make it a little bit more clear through the dialogue what was going on.
Is it just me though? But I kind of got the feeling that was just a scene that was cut straight from the movie.
Yeah,
Hello.
that was just like what they did with Captain America and adding a trailer to Avengers. It was just a scene from Civil War.
Yeah, that was clearly just a scene from Civil War.
Yeah.
But what I say is, like, from what everything's been going on, does anyone else think? Does anyone get the? Do you guys get the feeling that they actually might do the actual ending of Civil War?
Maybe.
As in, like, Steve, especially like if they're bringing the Winter Soldier and all that. Is that, well, spoilers if you haven't read Civil War and found out about it. But basically at the end, after Captain America hands himself in, he gets assassinated by Crossbone.
Maybe. You
It
never
all
know.
depends. I think that it depends heavily.
And
It
Winter
could,
Soldier
it could
and
be a twist ending, and maybe they'll change it because in Age of Ultron, when Tony was having that vision at the beginning of the movie from Scarlet Witch, it was supposedly a look into Civil War, and Cap was there, and his shield was broken, which does happen in the story.
Well,
So-
that was just his worst fears
That was his
come to
fear,
real
yeah.
You
life.
get what I'm getting at?
but yeah,
is that
To an extent.
it might be sort of a fake out twist in Civil War that he could get killed, and then I don't know.
but
It
they're
all
saying-
depends. Does anybody here know what Chris Evans' contract, like how many more
No,
films he has
but
to
also
be in?
there
No,
was
it's
the
not going
but
out.
also there was the thing that the actor playing the Winter Soldier did sign up to do, I think, 5 or 6 more movies.
I think so.
Really?
Yes,
Bucky could be playing.
Yeah, it'll
which he
just-
does in the comic. Winter Soldier, after Captain America, after Steve gets killed, becomes
Or-
Captain America.
Or everything can be really pro, and Falcon can become Captain Falcon.
Yeah, and actually, I
I'd
do
like
like Captain Falcon. I
Maybe.
do like that outfit.
Well,
I'd like that.
yeah, the outfit is.
And actually,
pretty-
speaking of the Falcon, back to Ant Man, I did like how they put red on the Falcon's outfit, because that was the problem
Yes.
I kind of had with Falcon's outfit in Civil War. I mean, obviously, not Civil War. I mean, Winter Soldier.
Winter
was like,
Soldier.
was
Yeah,
that
Cap
it
too.
did feel very just bland, like especially the coloring, which I kind of get because he probably just pulled it out of storage.
Yeah,
Didn't
they
have time
did.
to.
He said he had to acquire wings, and he didn't
Yeah.
really get an outfit. He didn't get a costume this time.
Yeah,
You didn't get to customize it.
but
No.
now he's got the wings. He gets to customize it and add some red and give it some more color, and it looks much better.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
agree.
It looks more dynamic.
Now to the
Easy on
actual
the
scene in and of
eyes.
itself, which Jack and I have discussed this, but we'll gladly go over it again.
It's I thought it was a very imaginative. Oh right, sorry. Are you talking about the post-credit scene? I thought you
Yes.
were- yeah.
Yeah, we have a dispute as to what the meaning is. I don't think either of us dislike it.
Well, no, we don't dislike it, but
Do you mean the moment when they say like, "Oh, Tony's not going to be helping us; he's locked up" or something like that?
No, because of the Accords, we can't go to him.
Jack and I are disagreeing on who the end credit scene is talking about.
And
Go on then.
okay, I honestly do believe that the end credit scene is talking about Ant Man.
I thought it was
Besides the fact that it is an Ant Man end credit scene,
And it does say,
Falcon
and it does
knows-
say before that credit scene, it says Ant Man will return in, and then says, and then has that post credit scene where he goes, "I know a guy."
and then Ant Man will return. Falcon knows who Ant Man is. Ant Man could help them in something that is most likely illegal.
Well, I don't know if he knows who Ant Man is, but he knows of Ant Man.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But also, they say just at the end that that he was looking for him, and Kafi's for God's sake, like Lewis did run into him and tell him about Ant Man. Is that when he said like he was
Ant-Man
looking?
No, Falcon was asking about Ant Man to several different people, and it got to Lewis.
Yeah,
Lewis told Scott.
exactly. Sorry, that's what I meant. But you know what I mean? It's like.
So that could possibly be tied into that end credit scene.
But I don't actually. Speaking of that end scene though, there was one moment that I saw in the trailers that I think they cut from the movie was where he goes like, "Oh, I think some guy from the Avengers is looking for you," and then Scott goes, "Oh shit!" And I think that was cut from the movie at like the last, and that was at the end of the movie. It was
I didn't see that in the trailers.
Yeah,
That might have been maybe forced a little, but
it was
I
a
don't know.
TV spot, I think it was.
Oh.
Well, I'm
Wait,
glad
so
they
it's
took
like-
that out then. I don't think that would have been a funny way to end it.
Really? Oh well.
I don't. I thought the way they said like
But anyway,
the way of just Lewis narrating it was just a good way to end it.
okay. But anyway,
Yeah, the dispute we had was, is he referring to Ant-Man or Black Panther? I thought, in my mind, because this is like they're getting into a political issue here, they would obviously involve Black Panther. That's why I think it was referring to him.
And the point I was making is that the Accords itself, yes, it's a political word, but just because he's a political leader does not mean he would be involved with Cap's war buddy. The Accords they were discussing were the things that Tony was a part of in the Superhero Registration Act. And we don't even know how Black Panther is going to tie into that yet, or even which side he's going to be on.
Well, wasn't
So if
that
they're
his?
asking for legal help, a political leader who really does not care about the disputes of one soldier isn't going to care as much.
Well, we don't know we don't know explicitly what their issue is. All we know is they have Bucky, but we don't know exactly what their issue is.
We do
Well,
know, though. We do know the fact that they're not going to turn him in, or at least try to get help from the Avengers that are wanting to register people that are of a threat to the. I'm getting tripped over my own tongue here. A threat to society.
and probably if it's Bucky, that he's probably very wanted by the by Shield. Like,
Or even just the government in general for all the
Yeah.
destruction that he's caused and the people that he's assassinated. Because he's rumored to have killed Howard Stark, and even I think they even said he killed. I even think they like hinted at the fact that he killed. Shoot, I forgot his name. I shouldn't forget a president's
on.
name. I shouldn't forget a president's name.
got Kennedy.
Ronald Reagan.
Kennedy. They hinted at the fact that he possibly killed Kennedy.
Did he? When they say
So
that?
that means he's been frozen and thawed out multiple times.
Well, yeah, they've said that that
right.
he has.
All right, sorry, I must have forgot that.
Yeah, I don't think that they be talking about Black Panther, more so to the point that the audience hasn't been introduced to Panther, nor has the Avengers. And how exactly would Falcon know about Black Panther?
Well,
If
he
no one
did
is
say in Age of Ultron that he's been flying around, taking out Hydra bases, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Taking out, or doing something involving Hydra. So maybe Falcon ran into him.
Weren't
while
they
he was
also
on-
in Black Panther's country in Avengers?
Falcon wasn't. They were in Wakanda, but Falcon wasn't. And they never met Panther. They were just trying to stop Hulk from
And they
destroying
can
the city.
see, and they can also see how Black Panther would be more like be lying to go onto Captain America's side because it was Iron Man fighting Hulk in Wakanda, and just basically destroyed a good part of Wakanda.
See, I think Black Panther is going to be introduced in those leaked photos that when they were in Wakanda fighting something. So Black Panther will come in with Captain America,
Maybe.
either fighting against him or fighting with him against whatever they're fighting.
Oh, and speaking of the Hulk, actually, you know how the guy who plays what's his name, the general guy,
General Thunderbolt Ross.
yeah, everyone's saying that they might do Red Hulk as well.
That's a
I don't know.
possibility.
I don't know if they would, but maybe.
I think they would. I think they'd introduce the Thunderbolts, or at least just Red Hulk.
I mean, it's. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I actually read Civil War. Does he have a major role in the movie?
In the book, I don't remember him doing anything explicitly like important aside from like being there and being a representative of why the hero should give up.
Yeah. Oh, I hear someone typing.
That's me.
Yeah.
Austin's the fact
And was
checker.
he even Red Hulk by that time?
That's something I don't know.
Yeah, I think when the Civil War was being written, I think Red Hulk was even a part of the Avengers. No, I don't want to go to Nerdist.
Yeah, it's one of those things like there's got to be a reason he's been brought in.
And there's also rumors.
Well,
that-
actually, no. No. There doesn't necessarily need to be a reason. When he originally signed up for Hulk, he signed up to do 3 films. One of them was the first Hulk, so he still had 2. And I don't see there ever being another Hulk film, so him coming into this is just a good way to keep using up that contract while using something in continuity.
Yeah, and Marvel's going to have some issues making another solo Hulk film since the actual rights are owned by Universal.
I honestly don't want another Hulk film, to be honest. I just don't think
Neither
it could
do
be
I.
that interesting.
If they did another Hulk film, I would want to go with... I would want them to do a World War Hulk. No, not World War Hulk.
Planet
Hulk.
Planet Hulk. That's what I wanted.
Oh, that movie.
And
was
actually, they
fun.
could probably tie it into the Marvel universe because Thor 3 Ragnarok will have Beta Ray. Is it Beta Ray Bill in it?
Maybe. I haven't heard anything about
Oh
Beta
wait, is Beta Ray Bill? Who the heck is that? The robotic Thor?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
horse with the.
Oh yeah, that's Ragnarok.
Yeah,
That's
the,
literally
the
Ragnarok.
robotic horse Thor. Yeah, that's...
He should be in Civil War though.
No.
No, because there's a robot Thor in the Civil War.
Well, no, in
But
the
it's not
actual
Beta Ray.
Civil War story, Ragnarok is a character in there who's one of the lead antagonists.
But I've also heard that Beta Ray Bill is also in Ragnarok. But anyway, but also saying like if he's in that, then they could link him because he also ends up on Planet Hulk and gets
Yeah.
the shit kicked out of him.
I thought Planet Hulk, he just basically becomes the leader and leads ships back to Earth because he's pissed off at Tony Stark.
Well, no,
Maybe.
never mind.
Well, either way...
We're talking
we
about a
don't
film
have
that may
second
never
Hulk
even happen.
concept yet.
I would hope it doesn't, honestly. That'd be too wacky.
What?
Never mind.
But anyway,
Should we go on to stuff we did not like in the film?
Did we not already do that?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have like really major, huge problems with the film. Did you?
No, nothing that ruined the film for me. In fact, I didn't even
I
notice.
did think the villain was underdeveloped, but I didn't think he was like bad.
I thought he was just bad straight up because it's like a lot of the issue with certain Marvel films is like the villains are just bad. Like the Dark Elf from Thor 2 was bad.
Marvel don't have.
Ultron was bad.
Marvel don't have the villains that DC have. If you know what I mean, like DC
Not
villains
necessarily.
are way more developed,
way more
and
well known, way more on the public side. You got Joker, you got Lex Luthor. Even people know about like Wonder Woman villains.
Do
When
they?
it comes to Marvel, the villains other than Spider-Man,
Doctor Doom,
Aren't
and that's
exact-
when Doctor Doom isn't even. Marvel don't even have Doctor Doom.
unfortunately,
They have Doctor Doom. They have Galactus.
No,
Mhm.
they don't have the Galactus. They can't have Galactus.
Well, no.
We're
I'm
talking
talking
about
about recognizable characters.
see their major brand villains are owned by other companies, which sucks because the other companies can't seem to get it right.
yeah,
that's
well,
not true.
How
Like
is,
X-Men.
how is it so hard to get Doctor Doom right? He's an evil genius with a metal suit of armor who owns his own country. How is that so goddamn hard?
Well, we need it in the modern century, so let's make him a blogger in metal suit. Make him look like Bender on acid.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Not good Bender on acid, though.
Oh,
The best representation I've found of that Jeremy Jones guy. He's reviewed Fantastic Four, and he says he looks like Dates' child did before she had any skin on.
Ugh.
huh. Anyway,
We're saying like that's the problem Marvel has is I mean, I can see them doing it with fan art. I mean, they've got Loki. I think Loki's the only real standout that they have.
well, that's
Loki's
true,
definitely
yeah.
become a breakout villain. And I guess that's why he has to pretty much star in every Thor movie.
Well, to be fair, he's also his brother. I feel like that'd be just kind of a void if he wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, but, you
Makes
get what I'm
sense.
saying.
Yeah, I mean, and Red Skull. I don't even know if they're going to get Hugo Weaving back to do.
They're not doing another Red Skull.
Not reprising some of his movies when he's done with them.
Yeah.
But it still left the door open for Red Skull to return.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he
Well,
did both
actually,
Lord of the Rings and
yeah.
Hobbit.
Well, actually, in the original Winter Story, in the comic version of the Winter Soldier story, it was that business guy that's head of Hydra in the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
I can't remember, but in the comics, he was Red Skull.
Well, he's dead now, so
Well, he's dead now, so they can't do that.
so
But you know what I
think
mean.
that's gonna happen.
But you know what I mean. Like it's like they could bring back Red Skull. I mean, it's basically a lot of prosthetics to bring back Red Skull. I mean, they don't really need Hugo Weaving.
to an extent, I feel like they do. But
He still made half of the acting, though. It's not so much in the looks.
But you know what I mean? It's like it's
soldier Nazi.
and also Marvel have recast people before and just not really done anything, not really brought any attention to it.
Especially when they don't want to come back, like,
Yeah.
well, Rhodey, for example.
Exactly. So
oh yeah, shit, Rhodey was recasted, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Rhodey was in the first film. He was
Yeah, there was a different actor. Yeah,
yeah, and Edward Norton and Marvel were always at ends because Norton's kind of a dick.
was he?
Yes, he's very well known for being hard to handle with behind the scenes.
Huh.
And that could be another reason why they didn't bring him back for the Avengers, or why he didn't want to come back.
It was strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of been known to be like, especially when it comes to picking his movie roles. He's very I will do this but my way sort of thing. No, I don't care what the director wants to do it. I'm doing it my way.
Yeah, and if a director like Edgar Wright can be pushed off of the project, you know for a fact that an actor like Edward Norton will be pushed off if he doesn't work well with Marvel.
Yeah.
Edgar Wright.
And honestly, Mark Ruffalo is way better. I think it's the best live action Hulk Bruce Banner, sorry, we've had.
Ruffalo does a pretty good job. He's one of the only Hulk actors to reprise a role in a film as Hulk.
Yeah.
They should just keep recasting him at this point. Just make it a joke.
No.
Or if Marvel get the rights back to Fantastic Four and they bring in the Human Torch, to go have him look at Captain America, go, you look familiar.
That would be pretty funny. But it's probably going to be a little bit wild.
Yeah.
Well, not so much so. Either Fox will say, we don't know how to do this, or they think Fantastic Four is a bad franchise and they'll just hand it back, or they'll just wait a few more years to try again.
There's been 4 Fantastic Four movies and none of them have been good.
Yeah, there's the old '90s one.
Oh yeah, the one
That was the one
didn't
that
get released.
didn't even get released. It was literally just made so it's basically what Fox are doing right now. It was made just to keep the rights. Only this time they actually released it.
It was awful. Oh, it's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's gonna be a fun sit down tomorrow.
Okay.
Do we want to
Anything
move
else, Andy,
on?
we can discuss?
Actually, yeah, I did also get the Fantastic Four trailer in front of Ant Man.
I did not.
Yeah.
I saw it in a smaller theater,
honestly-
so I didn't get many.
And honestly, it's sort of things like superhero movies have moved on, and Fantastic Four doesn't look like it's followed them.
I don't agree with that at all.
Fantastic Four looks like it has the problems even pre Dark Knight issues,
where they don't know anything about the source material, they don't want to look into it, and they want to have their heroes in dark, gritty situations with little to no character development, or even humor for that matter.
Like Man of Steel. Oh my god. Inception. Illuminati confirmed.
Have you seen that video, speaking of Man of Steel, about if Man of Steel was in color?
Yeah, I saw that.
No.
It was just where they raised the tint, and everything was actually in the colors that it really honestly should be.
Like
Zack Snyder is known to put like a filter in all of his films, except for Watchmen, I think.
no,
that was very gray.
Yeah, I don't think he did that with Watchmen. He did that with 300 though.
Yeah, that would have like a burnt orange, brownish look to it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then the Sucker Punch, which actually known as
Was just like
Sucker
that was
Punch
just
looked like it was just doused in a bunch of gray colors.
honestly,
like-
honestly, a lot of the scenes honestly just looked like it was being seen through like a puddle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. But yeah, it's like the problem with Fantastic Four I've been having is I have no problem with the casting. I think an actor is only as good as the is.
No, of course not. And this isn't even going into the fact that Johnny Storm is black. It's the fact that they have no direction for any of this stuff.
And for also, I've been reading that this movie had has been like it's been one of those movies that's how can I put it? It's like shooting. It's been a nightmare because apparently the guy who directed Chronicles, he's the one directing it. Apparently, there's been reports coming out that he turned up to most of the shooting days drunk or high.
I guess he was about into it as the rest of us
And
were.
if you actually, there's that interview, like there's that video about the interview about him talking about all the different characters. If you actually look at it, I think he's wearing sunglasses in it. Which, I don't know, if you're hearing reports of a guy who's a director turning up drunk and or on drugs during a shooting and they do an interview where he's wearing sunglasses and actually
Stoned.
if you watch the interview, he clearly doesn't give a shit. Like it's the person interviewing him who's talking more than he is.
That's a really great sign. The director doesn't even give a shit about his own movie. The actors in themselves, when they try to describe their characters, it's always one note, and they're not really saying anything about them.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, the Fantastic Four were not the most fleshed out people in the beginning either, though.
I'm going to heavily disagree with you, but I'm not going to go off right now.
And also, why is it? It's like Fantastic Four. It's a family. It's a family of heroes. Why do they have to
known
keep?
for being Marvel's first family.
It's one of the first. I think it is the first superhero team ever.
No, Justice League is.
Is it? I thought just the Fantastic
Nope,
Four.
Justice League is.
Let me
Anyway,
check.
Fantastic Four came from the fact that the Justice League was a thing.
I thought that's where the Avengers came from, but never mind.
Okay, hold
No,
on.
people get that confused a lot.
Let me check. No, I don't want to talk about the Fantastic Four movie.
I know they're called the first family of comics or something like that.
The first
Okay.
superhero, the first family of superheroes, yeah.
Okay, 1961 was Fantastic Four.
And then
Just- Yeah, 61. Justice League first appeared in 1960, 1 year before.
Oh, so you're right.
Yeah, see?
And
All right.
Avengers.
I believe
think
it was a year or so later.
Yeah, I think
No, no. Okay, yeah, comics.
I
Here
thought
we
it
go.
was 64, but I'm not.
Avengers actually appeared in 63.
Yep. 2 years later.
Yeah.
But going back, it's not the first superhero team, but it is the first superhero family.
And for some reason, every single version of I haven't seen the Roger Corman one, so I have no idea about that one. But it always seems to be like it's supposed to be a family of heroes. They seem to be like, let's make them anything but a family. They're all jackasses, or
Fox can't seem to nail it, and I don't
They
know
have
why
to-
they wanted to try again.
I don't. Get,
Well, they
I
don't. They don't
see-
have like they don't have a Bryan Singer, someone who is either just really good at writing that type of a story or knows anything about the characters.
And even
They're missing
he
a
now
Bryan
is-
Singer.
Even he now, who was notorious for starting out the X-Men franchise for not going in the comics, has now decided to be more comic-esque.
More
Yes.
so in designing his characters.
And also there's the like it's sort of a thing is like with Fantastic Four is like Fox, you don't need to change it. Why do you think like you need to do this sort of new spin on it? It's like it's good enough on it is. Like, why does Doctor Doom have to be a business leader instead of a leader of his own company? Why does he have to be a blogger?
Wasn't that how we started out?
No. No.
Huh.
No.
But you know what I mean? It's like,
Doctor Doom is the leader of Latveria.
it's like what? How is it so hard to have a big? I mean, with how America's relationship with Russia is, they could have easily done like Doctor Doom and Latveria's relationship with America is sort of like the one with like how it is with America and Russia. They could have easily done that.
I don't even think Fox knows how that works. So that's probably why they're trying to do something so simple. I mean, again, this film was filmed in like 6 months or something in front of green screens.
Yes, or inside. Like I think there's like, the fact is like, I mean, the fact that it was like, if you see something like Suicide Squad where they're doing a lot of outdoor shooting, so of course there's been a lot of set leaks, and then you see Fantastic Four, which has what, like 4 set leaks or something like that.
There's nothing.
Well,
really
that's just because simply there's a lot more effects that have to go into the Fantastic Four film.
Because they're being transported to an alternate dimension instead of going.
No,
into
because
space.
you have a guy that sets on fire and a completely CG stone monster and a guy who stretches.
But like,
Not even any screenshots were leaked, like with Deadpool. I'm not talking about set photos. I'm talking about screenshots, like when they're working on it. It has the same problem with the prequels, where they think they can just add everything cool later, and it just looks like a sterile, smooth, lifeless set.
and how much you want to bet? How much you want
besides screen
Okay, we have none of us seen the movie. We're just bitching about because Jack at first, like Jack was like, well, Jack, actually, you were looking forward to the movie, and then I think it was when I told you that they had a reviewer embargo on it. Is when you went, oh no, basically.
No, I learned about that like a week ago, and that's just like, oh, my like I had expectations, and I was just like, oh, it's gonna suck.
Yeah, Fox didn't want anyone to know about the film until the film came out.
If Ubisoft has taught me anything, embargo means bad.
Yeah, I mean, I also heard that it didn't get a critic screening, but I don't think that's true.
No, it didn't.
I have no idea.
I don't think it got a critic screening, but some people did see it early, and that's where these reviews are coming from.
Mm-hmm. It's another thing. It's like that's embargo, and there's no critic screening. That's a huge red flag.
I guess now I'm just going to see it for how bad it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I was like, I can't. It's one of those things. Like right now, it's on an 8% at Rotten Tomato. The first the Fantastic Four film that came out, what, 2006?
2004.
2004. That's at 15%. Apparently, that's twice as good, or just nearly twice as good as this one.
And let this tell you something. Yesterday, it went from 15 to 20%. Now that it is showing early in theaters today,
and the embargo has been lifted,
it's dropped.
It's dropped to 8%. It is 1% lower than Catwoman.
The film that got everything wrong about Catwoman.
Nothing's as bad as Catwoman.
And I guess we'll have to see Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four can be really bad, but it won't be as bad as Catwoman.
Well, I guess we're just gonna have to see.
They have at least the character. They have the character powers. They have the looks down.
Well, they don't even have Mr. Fantastic's powers right. He doesn't stretch. He warps space around him to where it looks like he stretches.
Okay, same goddamn thing.
It's not the same thing. It's an overcomplicated explanation to where you could just say the character is stretching.
Actually, from what I've heard, they've changed that to the point where actually no, he is stretching. Because if you look at his suit, apparently his hero suit has springs on it, so he can actually he can faster stretch back to normal.
It's still stupid for them to
and also he apparently has face changing abilities, which apparently did have it in the comics.
Yeah, it does. That makes sense.
But I've also heard that it's terrible CGI, which I will say, like looking at the trailers, the CGI didn't look done.
It looks like all of their budget went into just making the thing look real. And that's the only thing I'll give to the film is that the thing does look awesome.
Even if he doesn't have pants. But yeah.
He needs pants.
You see, nothing's as bad as Catwoman.
We'll see. I'll hold.
So So instead of talking about Fantastic Four, do we want to briefly go into the possible future of Marvel? Because there's a lot of lead-in stuff in Ant-Man, either intentional or forced.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like more of the film was setting up to Ant-Man's plot in Civil War.
Yeah.
I didn't really see that much for the rest of the rest of the Marvel universe as Age of Ultron set up.
No, I mean, like, yeah, Age
There's
of
very
Ultron-
little setup in Ultron.
Well,
No,
the entire scene with Thor and the Infinity Gauntlet stuff.
Yeah,
That-
my disagreement with you, Jack, is that everything was set up in Age of Ultron, and that is another problem I would have is that the film was just a setup to the rest of the Marvel.
But here's the thing: is like when you hear like I think the original cut of Age of Ultron was 3.5 hours long.
Yeah, they shaved
An
hour off the film.
And they're not even going to release it.
No, they are. They
I thought
said
Joss
that
Whedon
they are
said he
going
didn't want
to.
a director's cut.
No, he never said that. It's going to be a director's cut release.
Good, because
Right.
saying like I honestly think that director's cut might make the movie a lot better because
I'm-
it's clear Age of Ultron had so much taken out of it.
It depends on what they took out, but you know, but
Well, I heard that
a lot
scene.
was set up in Age of Ultron more so than Ant-Man.
I heard that scene with Thor, that whole scene with Thor and going into the pool. That there was a lot more setup. I mean, in the trailers there was that thing where there was that woman that was next to the pool. Remember that?
What?
It was,
Oh yeah, that was. He said that was not going to be in the movie.
Really?
that might have been Enchantress, because she was rumored to be in Thor Ragnarok.
Hmm.
Actually, I think she was cast.
I heard. Isn't Death and because Death's a woman, isn't she?
Death might play a major role in Infinity War, so maybe it is. I don't know, but Age of Ultron set up Thor Ragnarok, Civil War.
Oh yeah, I forgot because
Yes.
Thanos is doing all this to impress Death.
Yeah, don't you remember his first scene?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the whole point of Infinity War and Thanos in of itself. So I'm surprised they haven't even set up Death yet. Then again, that might play into why there's always fake deaths in Phase 2.
Well, unless you're Quicksilver.
Well, that was just a lead up to it.
No, to be fair, how do you set up? To
What?
be fair, how do you set up Death?
Weren't they in? When Thor was having his nightmare sequence, didn't he think that they were all in Death's domain or wherever it was?
No idea.
It was Hell, but with one H.
Yeah,
That's the Asgardian Hell.
So L.
which Death rules over.
Yeah. So she might get introduced in Ragnarok.
I wonder if they're gonna give her that helmet that she has.
I thought
They
she
might
just wears
just
a cloak.
They might just do the black cloak skeleton with a womanly figure, which is still confusing in how that works. But
But isn't that more Deadpool?
What?
that's still Marvel, though.
I know, but
That's still the same death.
But it's like because Deadpool. Yeah, if you don't know, Death is in love with with Deadpool.
Because he can't die.
Yeah.
And he wants to die.
And Thanos hates Deadpool simply because Death is in love with him and not Thanos.
Still a better romance than Twilight.
Yes.
It's
But
sort of
yeah,
like-
that's still the same Death, so they might do that.
Okay, as to a director's cut, it's unconfirmed if it will get released. He's very iffy on it. Like, he doesn't know if they'll release it.
Told you. Anyway.
I want them to.
Yeah. Or maybe just have like a bunch of
Oh, and
deletes.
here's something for all you people that think about going to see Fantastic Four, and it's this going back to scenes that are in trailers that aren't in the movie. That whole trailer scene where Thing dropping out of the plane, that's got in all the trailers of Fantastic Four, not in the movie. From what I've heard, that's not in the movie.
Would be
So, instead of talking about Fantastic Four, do we want to talk about Spider-Man for the new film and the writer's release of it?
Yeah,
think that's the only
kind
thing.
of have a little worry about it though.
Yeah, these seem like Sony decisions right here.
It's like saying he's using comedy for get through grief stuff like that. And if he's a teenager, like I really hope they aren't going to make him like, oh, I'm going to make a Vine or I'm going to post this to Twitter and stuff like that. I really hope they don't do that.
Yep.
Well, he's also a nerd, so I wouldn't imagine a nerd being. Wait. Never mind. That was completely contradictory of what I was saying because we're doing that right now.
Yeah, nerds. Like, what nerds would ever record themselves and post it on the internet?
Oh.
Who would watch that?
Yeah, you guys get the fuck out of my house. Anyway.
Well,
like these screenwriters, like, do we want to read off their resume?
From what I've heard, they have a pretty decent resume.
No. Let me see. I'm gonna bring it up right now. And they are John Francis Daly and Jonathan M. Goldston.
John Francis Daly and John.
Let's see.
But the thing is, though, I am literally one of those. I'm one of those firm believers that everyone has that one good story in them.
Let's see, IMDb. Doo-ba-doo. And we've got Bones.
What, the TV show?
Yeah.
They wrote Vacation.
What the fuck was that?
That was my
Yeah.
phone.
Excellent ambiance. It's what we needed.
I thought that pillar from 2001 was suddenly getting into something.
No.
But that's not a good sign.
Let's see. They did Yo Gabba Gabba. That's well known.
Not particularly for good reasons.
These are comedy writers.
To be fair, maybe their mindset is, oh, they got the guys from Arrested Development and Community
Good point.
to do Captain America, but unfortunately, these guys didn't write Community, so they're instantly not as good.
I don't know. We got to hear more about it. It's like they have cast a Spider. Do you want to talk about the casting of Spider-Man?
What's his name?
Tom Holland.
Tom.
Yeah, Tom Holland. There you go.
Which I'm going to use the thing in which I love that Machinima were doing is like, I can't believe it's not Butterfield.
What is that? Oh, I don't give a shit.
That's lame.
But that's stupid.
There was also a supposed leaked cast list.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got. I've got it right here on my phone. We've got possibly Billy Zane as the Vulture, and Jason Biggs as Scorpion.
I've heard that I've heard rumors that it's going to be Kraven the Hunter.
Maybe, but he's not on the list.
But again, that's a possible leak. There's been no. You can't trust IMDb as well when it comes to rumored stuff.
Well, this isn't IMDb. This is like somebody's computer. So this could all be faked, but this is still something to keep into
Do you
consideration.
mean like that Superman game that was supposed to be remember that screenshot going around about that Superman game?
Yeah.
That they just took from Injustice and changed it up a little bit.
Should we talk about Aunt May?
Yeah, she's a little bit young.
A little bit young. She's a goddamn MILF.
I was about to say that. Aunt May seems to progressively get younger in these Spider-Man reboots, and
So
I'm not
does
against
so
it.
does Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not
that's
against it
for more
considering
positive
Spider-Man is
reasons.
younger, and Aunt May wouldn't be an old fart by then.
But
Yeah,
still,
that's
like
fine.
you look at her, it's like I don't see carrying Auntie.
She doesn't look 50. She doesn't look 50.
I don't see carrying
No,
Auntie.
she does
I
not.
see someone that James Bond's left in his room.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty weird now that I can say I'm attracted to Hot May.
Oh
No,
well,
to Aunt May.
well, you just have to watch Trouble. You just have to read Troubles then.
I know I called her Hot May on purpose.
It's like, really? Like,
You people sicken me.
Hey, quiet you. I could be I'm not the only one attracted to a fictional character here.
don't
Are
worry.
you?
Don't worry.
We're on the internet after all.
I mean,
I don't know.
it
Is
could
Alex
be
anything
worse.
to fess up about?
It could be worse. I mean, they could make they could give Spider-Man a musical,
No,
a Broadway musical.
we don't need to talk about Turn Off the Dark.
I saw that.
You saw that?
Yeah, my sister was working on Broadway at the time, and she got me and my dad tickets.
And
It was meh.
Of course. Why would you give a musical to Spider-Man? But anyway.
And have tons of people get in. How many Spider-Mans did they go through?
There was only the legendary case of the one.
I don't know. I thought there was something like there was 5 actors and they've all broken bones from the.
Not really. They've had minor injuries. But there was only the one that got really injured.
Okay. So we've also
the
got
most expensive Broadway in history, as well.
The hottest 5 out of 10. Anyway.
Okay.
What were you gonna say?
Other than Aunt May, we've also got a supposed cameo from Tony Stark.
That's fine. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. We've also got final negotiations for Rachel G. Fox to play Mary Jane.
Who was that?
Look it up. Because I have no idea.
Do you know actually who I would like to see in a Spider-Man movie? And this isn't just.
Submariner?
No, I would like to see Black Cat.
Yes.
Yeah, at one point. Not immediately.
But I don't want her to be a villain. Because I know right now in the Marvel comics she's a villain.
Well, that's only because what happened after the Doc Ock thing, but
Yeah.
again, we don't need to get into that whole thing.
Wait, when he got brain damaged?
No, when Doc Ock traded bodies with Peter Parker, and then Peter Parker died, and then Doc Ock was Spider-Man. That happened.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wait, is that an Ultimate Comics or mainstream?
No, that's mainstream.
Okay, that's
That
what I
happened
thought. Because
last-
I've been going through the Miles Morales Spider-Man stuff, and Spider-Man dies versus fighting the Lizard. Or is it the Lizard or Green Goblin? One of the two.
I thought it was Scorpion. Oh, no.
No, Scorpion. Scorpion is a guy Miles and his uncle take out.
All right.
Okay,
trying to
so
become the
Rachel
Kingpin.
G. Fox was... Well, she's very attractive, so she might play a pretty good one. She was on...
So wait, we're gonna get an attractive Mary Jane for once.
Yes.
What's her name again?
It could be a much better
Rachel G. Fox.
and it could be a much better romance.
Probably.
And actually, here's another thing as well. With how popular like things are getting on with like, do you know how isn't Spider-Gwen? Isn't that incredibly popular?
Oh
or
yeah,
something
that's
like?
very, very popular.
Yeah, and I can understand. Well, no, I can't really understand why it's popular, but I've read it and it's not very bad. It's an interesting idea, but it's not really the first time she's been a superhero.
Well, she's been brought back to life so many goddamn times.
Well, this one isn't even brought back to life. This is just
This is Peter Parker. Yeah.
Anyway, she was on Desperate Housewives.
We can't really
That's so
judge an
Raven.
actor. We can't really judge an actor on like if they do soap opera roles.
That's So Raven. Hannah Montana.
Jesus Christ, this
Everyone's
girl,
gotta
is,
start
this girl is
somewhere.
younger than I am. That's fucking absurd.
Everyone's got to start somewhere.
Well, Tom Holland's playing a young Spider-Man, so I assume
Yeah, but he's
Mary
19.
Jane has to be
He's
around
like
the same.
actually no, Tom Holland's my age. Jesus.
Yeah, but he's playing like a
16, 17-year-old?
yeah
High
and he
school
looks
age.
like he actually looks like a teenager. As
Yeah,
opposed,
yeah, they got
as
that right.
opposed to Vanity Fair covered.
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah,
I liked Andrew Garfield, alright?
he's a fine actor, but he's just not convincing as Peter Parker. He did good in suit, but not out of suit. That's just
His hair is weird.
Oh, can we talk about superhero stuff? Can we talk about the Deadpool trailer?
yes.
Finally.
Absolutely.
He looks like Freddy Krueger got fucked by a topographical magazine.
They're
You
doing
look like-
it right. I just,
like avocado. That's
I
sex
just-
or avocado.
it's just like
Thank you.
It honestly looks like Fox have been like, okay, so we fucked up Fantastic Four. Let's just focus on Deadpool because it looks like we're actually doing that. Because that honestly looks like a passion project. Like, it does.
That movie just looks fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That genuinely looks like a good time. It's
That
not
looks
going to,
like the movie
that's
that
not
would make
going.
Tiger
That's not
Woods.
going to be a deep film. Anybody who thinks it's going to be a deep film, you're stupid.
Yeah.
That's just going to be a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like how because Ryan Reynolds, he clearly loves the character. Like he's not just like loves the character because he did the film. No, it's more like he knows about Deadpool and just goddamn loves Deadpool.
Well, he
even
has-
to the point to where he doesn't want to play another superhero after Deadpool.
Well, to be fair, I think he has basically said this is his last chance. That's like he in an interview said, "Yeah, Deadpool is my last chance." Because what has he done before this? He did
He did
X-Men
voices.
Origins Wolverine. He did Green Lantern, and he did R.I.P.D.
He did Voices that came out this year, which was pretty good.
Like what?
Voices about the movie where he has a talking dog and he thinks his dog and cat are talking to him and they tell him to kill people.
Yeah, that was weird.
Have you not heard about that movie?
No, I saw it. I saw the trailer for it.
His Last Chance.
No, actually, that was a good movie. It was sort of like
Mr. Peabody.
No, it was like the dog was telling him like the dog was being like is being his best friend while the cat was telling him to kill people.
That's a weird concept.
But no, it's like the cat weren't talking. It was like he was thinking that they were like basically. It was basically a tale of an insane person.
Anyway, so Deadpool. That's not the Colossus we know and love because we haven't seen one on film like that.
But it looks it looks more like Colossus.
Yeah, we haven't seen Colossus at all. He's done nothing in any of the movies. He's just been there.
Yeah.
He got pulled in half in Days of Future Past.
And what did he do? Died twice.
Should have kept the kill count in that film, but whatever.
That volcano guy did absolutely he didn't. I don't think he even got a line.
No.
You mean Pyro?
Well, that wasn't Pyro.
Yeah, the other one. What was he, the black guy?
Wait.
No, because there's Pyro who can make fire. There's a guy. There was the guy who can shoot like he was. I think it was called it was something to do with volcanoes. Anyway,
I have to look into that again.
he was the guy who got his arm cut off. Remember?
Oh, right. That was right before Iceman died.
Yeah.
And then died again.
Yeah, and then there was I did like the Portal Girl.
You mean oh shoot. I should remember her name.
Jubilee?
No,
not Jubilee. She's going to be in the next movie.
Yeah.
He's talking
Speaking
about,
of, actually no, but yeah, I know. Yeah, no, go on. What you were saying, because I'll get to that other point later.
Blink.
Yeah.
Blink.
She was good, but no, I was saying like speaking of Jubilee, like what they just pretty much took the how she looks in the comics and just put it on film, didn't they? Like
Yeah.
and also like have you seen what's it?
Psylocke.
Yeah, Psylocke as well. She looks like apparently that outfit is incredibly uncomfortable to wear.
Well, think about it looks like the Psylocke costume, so yeah, I'd imagine it was. You're just wearing a full body G-string.
Can we actually? But yeah, no. Before I get to talking about Apocalypse, quickly, Deadpool just looks amazing.
Yeah, Deadpool does.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm gonna
Looks
go
like
on.
an avocado with sex with another avocado.
We just said that.
You look
But thank
horrifying.
you for reiterating it.
Don't make the suit green
Like a
or
testicle with
animated.
teeth. That was a nice little jab at Green Lantern.
Yeah,
I know
I
what
wonder if
you're
they're
all.
gonna
It's
have
like
a-
I know what you're all thinking. Why is the suit red? It's so the bad guys don't see me bleed.
that guy's got the right idea by wearing the brown pants.
They took that straight from the test footage.
But also, like that teaser to the teaser trailer, I was like, I wonder if they're actually going to take the mick out of. They're going to take the piss out of the last Deadpool as well.
And they did.
It was like from the studio that sewed his fucking mouth shut the first time.
We still don't know why.
Because we didn't ask Bryan Singer to do anything. And we learned our mistake. That's why he wrote the next film, and then he directed and wrote the next film. And the film after that.
So we have pretty good hopes for Deadpool.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
Deadpool looks
going
fun.
on from the screenshots of Apocalypse, like they pretty much kept the look of of all of the superhero characters, except Apocalypse.
I'm fine with that.
Now I've heard this. Now I've heard this debate over and over again, and here's one that I actually took into consideration from somebody else: is that might not be Apocalypse's final form, because he started out pretty small, and then progressively got bigger and bigger to the point to where he looks like the Apocalypse everybody knows now. So that's probably not his final look.
What the? So who's playing that? Flag. Stop it.
What's going on?
Okay, it stopped. Who did that?
That wasn't me.
I don't have anything open on mine. Was it an
I
ad?
haven't actually got the internet open, so it's not me.
That was weird.
Whatever. Anyway.
Okay, So yeah, like we were saying, it's probably not going to be his final form.
Yeah, maybe, possibly.
Want to know whose
Right.
final form we actually might have?
Frieza.
No.
Who?
No.
Well, yes. Well, Gold's Frieza. Whatever.
I'm going to
Good
see
call.
that next week.
But what is it? Old Man Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman isn't he taking on, like, he says, what do you want the last Wolverine movie to be? And Old
Yep.
Man, I think it's like Old Man Logan's the most popular one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be his last Wolverine movie.
Hopefully, we've had enough of them. That
And
none
if
of
Deadpool
them
does,
have been
and
very
if,
good.
if Deadpool does really, really well, could we please have Deadpool and Wolverine at least let screen together once, so we can call him Bub?
That would be pretty great. Anything else? Nothing new from Suicide Squad, or Dawn of Justice lately. After the
Well, we
trailer.
never talked about those formally
No.
officially.
Okay, can we talk about those trailers? Because
Which one? Which one?
I really did like the Batman vs Superman trailer.
That
Right, it looks
actually
it looks
a lot better than
completely
the first teaser.
Yes.
It
And
looks
does, 'cause-
stylistically, it looks so different from Man of Steel.
I mean, at first I
Yeah.
did. Well, apart from I mean, it looks. I don't know about the colors yet, but I mean, I was really
no,
worried
the color palette looks so different. It's ridiculous.
But it's like at first I did worry like they were just going to make it like, oh, Superman, like Batman's going to be saving the day because Superman's being used by Lex Luthor. Now the new trailer makes it look more like we should be rooting for Superman, if you know what I mean. Like,
I
Well,
think
depends
it's more,
on
I
what's-
think it's trying to be more morally gray, honestly.
yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I've kind of worried. That's what I was worried about at first. Was like they were going to make us pick a side, if you know what I mean. It's like oh, we got to be on Batman's side because it's Batman and Batman's right about everything.
Well, Batman has some good motivation against Superman because it's shown that he was involved in the Man of Steel fight
Yeah,
where his building was destroyed. So he actually has some personal quarrel with Superman.
yeah,
Yeah.
And also, apparently, now, okay, here's the one thing: is like, there's been that there was that supposed leaked screenshot. This is going on that thing about where it's got they got the Robin suit in the trailer.
Yeah.
Now, people are saying that people are saying I hope it's Jason Todd, but people are saying that there was that leaked photo where it was a gravestone of Dick Grayson.
Well, it said John Grayson, so that might be his dad.
Yeah.
I don't.
You guys have heard about the theory about the Joker maybe being Jason Todd?
Yes,
That's
I've heard about that.
stupid.
No,
is
that's
stupid.
awesome. And
No,
It's really clever. It's really original. It's too clever for a studio to think of it.
I don't really agree with that. I
I
don't
like
see
it.
What, I get the point where he would dress up as Red Hood, but why Joker? The guy who killed him and he hates.
Do you remember the? I know this was Tim Drake, but Batman: Return of the Joker.
What?
Did you ever see Batman Beyond: The Return of the
Oh
Joker?
yeah, that was Tim
Yeah.
Drake.
But they
Yeah.
explained why that happened.
Yeah, you don't know why it didn't happen here.
But that would mean the Joker is dead.
No, it doesn't mean the Joker's dead. It would mean it doesn't mean that the
Could have
Joker's. He could have been presumed dead, but it's like I don't know. It's like, but again, I don't see that happening in the movie, and it's like,
It does seem too clever. It really does seem a bit too clever. But if they pull that off, that'd be awesome.
yeah.
I just feel like that's just a twist that they would try to get out of the audience.
I feel like it's honestly just
Bec-
really cool for
But it's
originality's sake.
really, I think the reason is because that I wouldn't see the Joker getting tattoos.
Yeah, I wouldn't see it either. That's too like
Depends
the
on which
Joker's
Joker
the
you're
Joker's
thinking
crazy,
about.
but he's not that stupid.
The Joker's crazy,
Who
but
does-
he has a bit of it's sort of
He's
things
not
like
suave.
he wears a suit. He has a style. He's a stylized craziness. If you know what I mean.
He goes
Which Joker
Bond
are you
on
talking about? Because there
He
have been
goes
different
007
versions
on
of
these
Joker
kids.
all over the place.
What?
Well, it depends on which Joker you're talking about.
Yeah, I'd say that to an extent. Well, to be fair, a lot of Jokers keep the same look. If you're looking at like the one from the Dark Knight Returns, it's basically the same outfit except he's got a white coat. Or if you're looking at like the Batman, where it's just like he's kind of got like this really weird looking. It's more exaggerated.
The Batman cartoon was just a crazy hobo. The
Wait,
Dark
didn't
Knight
this-
was like just sort of a calm down, like I've lost what made me special, like just completely destroyed Joker.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm also really excited about the Killing Joke, which apparently Mark Hamill has been approached about playing the Joker in the Killing
Oh no,
Joke.
it's confirmed. He's playing.
Yeah, it's confirmed.
Oh, is it?
And,
yeah.
and now Kevin Conroy wants to do Batman.
Well, if they do,
Well,
that could
they'll
be.
let him.
Yeah,
There's
they will.
There's no
It's-
point in them not doing it.
And that's what I was saying. Like Mark Hamill's been saying he wants to retire the Joker, and with him and Kevin Conroy, that could just be a great swan song for them.
That
To be
would be
fair.
a
Yeah,
great
that's
way
true.
to end their 20-year rivalry. Well,
20 years?
well,
Yeah,
they started in the 90s.
Almost 25 actually. But
Yeah, it's been a really long time.
oh yeah, they are the definitive. They are the two best people to ever play those characters in any
They
movie.
are.
I will say Mark Hamill is the best person who has ever played Joker because every other Joker has has nailed a particular part of Joker well. Like Jack Nicholson, I think nailed the thug, the organized crime boss part of Joker.
He was the gangster Joker.
What's his name? Heath Ledger. He was the psycho.
No,
he was.
I disagree with what you're about to say. Heath Ledger was the best Joker you could have had for that film.
Yes. No, I'm saying he was the best psychopath Joker.
Heath Ledger was a good terrorist Joker.
Yeah.
That's why I said he's the best Joker for that type of film, and it's still an
the
amazing
new Joker. I
portrayal.
won't pass judgment till I've seen.
What is it? The only other person who I think can honestly do justice after Mark Hamill retires is the guy who voiced him in Batman Arkham Origins and in Assault on Arkham. He's really good at emulating
Yeah.
Mark Hamill's the Joker. I would be fine if he replaced him.
Yeah, but it's sort of things we were saying Joker, Mark, every other actor who's played Joker has got one part of Joker right, but Mark Hamill has just got every part of the Joker right.
Yeah, he's perfected it over almost 25 years.
Yeah,
I actually thought a really good way. This is a little bit spoilers for a game that's almost 4 years old, but I honestly thought the best place to leave him off as the Joker would have been at the end of Arkham City, where the Joker literally dies.
yeah,
I feel like that would have been appropriate.
yeah. But it's it's sort of things I don't think there's particularly been a bad Joker. I mean, the Young Justice Joker wasn't very good, but he wasn't bad.
He didn't do
I
anything.
thought, what is it? Oh God, what's the guy who plays Bender? Who's the guy who plays Bender?
John.
The guy who plays and also he plays Jake, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
God, from the tip of my tongue, what is it? The guy who plays Bender, what is it?
John. It's John something.
John Cena. Anyway,
No.
he was
John
really
DiMaggio.
good. Yeah, John DiMaggio. He was really good in the Under the Red Hood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he would be a pretty convincing Joker.
Yeah, well, he was basically almost exactly the same as Mark Hamill's. It's just he had a much thicker voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a really good voice actor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He
I
plays
also
Bender.
did also the guy who voiced Trigon. He was the Joker in the Batman, wasn't he?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, he was.
Kevin,
Shit.
Kevin Michael Richardson.
Yeah.
I did like his Joker. I mean,
Well, to be fair, it was a different type of Joker. But for
Yeah.
what it was very nice.
mhm.
Yeah.
It was kind of this
It was weird, but it wasn't awful.
Mhm.
guy who fought this weird guy who fought with monkey style Chinese martial arts.
I think it was a hobo.
I kind of did like how at first they tried to give him a new look with that that straight jacket sort of
Yeah, and then it was just I kind of like that, but I feel like the suit grew on me more.
yeah, but then they said nah, let's just do the suit.
Yeah, there you go. He's much more recognizable that way.
Yeah,
I didn't like Harley Quinn in that series though.
but she was only in one episode. Well, she
was in 2 episodes or
She
something
was
like
voiced
that.
by Walsh.
yeah, who was also Harley Quinn in Assault on Arkham.
She was much more refined in those games. Actually, no, he didn't. No,
No,
he didn't. No. Yeah, Hendon Walsh is in Assault on Arkham.
That's what I said.
Tara Strong is the voice of
Harley Quinn in the games. in the
Yeah.
Yeah,
Arkham
game is where she became the new defined voice actor for Harley Quinn.
or between those two.
Which is
somewhere.
kind of funny because she also voiced Batgirl in the original.
Yeah.
She has a lot of DC girls under her under her wing.
And also most of the Titans voice cast were the Royal Flush in Young Justice.
Yeah,
And
no.
Justice League.
Is there anything else we want to discuss, or?
Can we talk
I don't
about the
think there's-
Suicide Squad trailer?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I thought they needed a different song.
Yeah,
Besides that, I liked
Tone
what I
felt
saw.
wrong for how they were trying to advertise the film as being their version of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Not really their
I-
version
I-
of Guardians
yeah,
of the
I
Galaxy.
don't
I
agree
thought it
with
was
that
more.
at all.
It's like.
Well, you get what I mean when they're saying like,
What I thought was what I thought was that song just felt like There Are No Strings on Me from the Age of Ultron trailers.
yeah, that's what I felt they were trying to emulate.
I mean, they probably still have a lot more to shoot, but it's like I didn't really get much. I mean, obviously, it clearly does look like what they're doing with it for the first trailer was just like Will Smith, Deadshot, Harley Quinn, and Joker. All the other Suicide Squad members didn't really get much in the trailer.
Killer Croc had nice makeup.
Oh yeah, I like the makeup, but you know what I mean.
I'm glad they're not going with like CGI. Bleh.
Make him literally look like the guy from the animated series. That'd be great.
Yeah. Although I've heard that Harley Quinn, because I'm still not sure about the Harley Quinn outfit.
It's fine. It's not like she is in the Arkham Asylum game, where I just didn't like that at all.
The slutty nurse outfit in Arkham Asylum, I didn't like.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I think this one's much better.
I don't know.
The only thing revealed about her is her legs, really.
Yeah, sort
Well,
of. It's like,
Here's
Has
the
a
thing.
rip-
You're not.
She has a ripped
you-
shirt.
Well, to be fair, you're not gonna get like the classic Jester outfit.
oh yeah, I
And-
wasn't saying that, but I mean, it's like,
Well, a nice
Unfortunately,
variation on
already.
that would be nice.
yeah, I'm not saying that, but something like I would say something like how it was in Arkham City was good enough.
Kind of, yeah.
But also there was that rumor that she gets more than one outfit in the movie.
That would be.
Well, yeah. She will because it's in the car. Remember?
See, this is why I think this is why I think Joker is in the film. Is he going to play a part in like Harley flashbacks, like talking about her origins and whatnot?
Actually,
Well,
if you look at the
has-
trailer, it's clearly that scene that you see with the Joker is clearly him. I think he's going to electro-torture.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Harley Quinn. I mean, Harley.
I think that's basically been
Driver
confirmed
Mad.
by this-
hmm Yeah.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Needed a new song, but I like the footage that I saw. It needed more of a fantastical song than a. What would you say that, like a choir?
Creepy bedtime story kind of song. Creepy lullaby.
Don't talk to me about creepy lullabies.
There are no strings on me.
No, that's not it. But whatever.
I think
Anything
he's
else?
I think he's referencing Babadook or something.
No. I'll link you it later.
I'm.
But yeah,
I guess that's it.
So this was a just discussion about recent stuff and Ant Man review.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back. We'll be back next time with Fantastic Four, which will be a lot more ranting.
Rest in peace, Anthony.
Anthony who?
Anthony.
Oh, Anthony. Oh, okay.
Oh
Anthony?
yeah, I forgot.
That was a female, by the way. He gave a male name.
Really? Oh yeah, because the flying ones are queens, aren't they?
Think about it. That was the biggest casualty of the film, and it was an ant.
Mm-hmm.
We
And
cried-
also, I did like that thing. I saw this one picture. It was like it was like that part of the Winter Soldier where it goes,
Oh, yeah.
Anthony, who the hell's Anthony?
was Anthony.
That would be a great sequel. Just a parody of
But some of
other.
that thing is like, as soon as he named Anthony, you knew it was doomed. As soon as you give an animal a name, it's doomed. It's gonna die.
Sorry, Bambi's mom.
Him and Quicksilver can be brought back to life in Infinity War.
But
No.
anyway,
Okay, I guess that's it.
yeah, we'll see you guys with Fantastic Four, which will be less positive.
Yeah.
Yay. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Die in a fire.